But our next speaker is a perfect example of big things come in small packages. Dr. Nessie Watt is a small person who has accomplished many. She graduated from the University of East Ramon Magsaysay Memorial Medical Center, Doctor of Medicine in year 1997. She completed her internal medicine residency training in 2002 and medical oncology fellowship in 2007 at the National Kidney and Transplant Institute, or NKTI, and was the first ever medical oncology fellow of the said institution, where she worked hard to have the training program to be accredited. She took a course in healthcare leadership in Harvard University in 2020, and she is currently taking a course in health economics at University of Pompeu Fabra in Barcelona. Simultaneously, while she was studying, she was a training officer of the Medical Oncology Fellowship Program in NKTI for 7 years. And now she is the current OIC for Clinical Services of the Section of Medical Oncology in the said institution, and has continuously mentored young medical oncologists and inspires them to be more competent and compassionate cancer care providers. With hopes of improving the cancer care in the Philippines, she is a governing council member of the Philippine Society of Medical Oncology.
Despite her busy schedule, she has a balanced lifestyle. Her love for photography makes her a member of the Camera Club Philippines and has a regular training with Arnis, and is also the paw mom of 3 English bulldogs. Wow. She also put up bakeries, a pastry shop, and her own coffee shop. At such a young age, in her 40s, Dr. Nessie Watt has made her dream to reality, for she was able to build the very first standalone cancer facility in the Philippines with complete facilities, renowned medical talents, and care, located in Bay Laguna. While the rest of us believes that there's so much to do with so little time, Dr. Nessie Watt is probably thinking, there is so much I can do while I still have so much time. Wow. Let us welcome a barista, a chef, a photographer, a businesswoman, a researcher, a mentor, a doctor, a hospital COO, all in one. Indeed, a woman who can rule the world. Her piece is entitled Inspiring Others to Become Leaders. Streaming live from Enduran Extension, Pasig City. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Nessie Watt.
Not a brilliant mind that speaks, but a special heart that listens. This is the quote that dearest to me, and one that I readily give when anyone asks me what my favorite quote is. This is easily my guiding principle in all areas of my life, regardless of what the setting of situation calls for. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nessie Watt. I'm a medical oncologist. It was 2003 when I entered medical oncology fellowship. I was the first fellow, and it took me almost 5 years to finish my fellowship. There were a lot of challenges in establishing a fellowship program. The usual fellowship is only 3 years, but mine took longer. During that time, I can always quit and transfer to other institutions. But I did not. I saw it as an investment. I had the best mentor during that time. We only had 3 consultants in our section. Now we have 24 fellows graduate in our center. I'm here today to talk about leadership in healthcare and how we can inspire others to become leaders in this important field. Healthcare is an industry that is constantly changing, evolving, and as the world continues to change and new challenges arise, we need leaders who are ready to step up and make a difference. My journey as a leader started when I became the training officer of the section of medical oncology. And I am now the officer in charge, head of clinical service of medical oncology at the National Kidney and Transplant Institute. We have produced top-notch and outstanding medical oncologists, leaders in their institution. I never wanted to be a leader, but time seems to be calling me to be so. And I think that's a privilege. I never had a formal training in leadership during that time. And leadership in healthcare is not part of our curriculum in medical school, and even during our training. I'm also currently the president and COO of Global Care Cancer Institute in Bay Laguna, the first standalone cancer center in the Philippines. I am not from Laguna, but I was invited by my medical school classmate, a radiologist, to be part of that institution. It took me a few months to decide. Eventually, I agree. A few months later, she unfortunately died of colon cancer stage 4. For me, to be part of GCCI is a calling for me to continue and pursue her dream. For GCCI to be the preferred cancer center in Laguna. I think it is important to recognize that leadership in healthcare is not limited to doctors or high-level executive. Anyone who is passionate about and has a purpose for healthcare and wants to make a positive impact on the life of others can be a leader in this field. Whether you are a nurse, a healthcare administrator, a public health expert, or a patient advocate, there are opportunities for you to lead and make a difference. So how do we inspire others to become leaders in healthcare? Here are 6 concepts that resonate with me personally and which I believe are worth considering. 1, lead by example. So if you cannot inspire others for them to look up to you, how can you lead? You need to be leader yourself. This means taking the initiative to make positive changes, being a role model for others, setting high standards for yourself and those around you. Show the people who work for you and with you that you will not ask them anything you wouldn't do yourself. When others see this quality in you, they will be inspired and follow your leadership. A leader must be able to inspire and motivate others. They must be able to create an atmosphere of positivity and enthusiasm. Where everyone feels valued and supported, they must lead by example, demonstrating themselves the value and behavior that they expect from their team. I always remind our young fellows that while it is good to be great, it is greater to be good. Number 2, foster a culture of innovation. If you are not open to change, how can you lead? Healthcare is an industry that is ripe for innovation, and leaders in this field need to be willing to embrace new ideas, new approaches, and by fostering a culture of innovation within your organization or community, you open the door for others to think creatively and come up with new solutions to the challenges we face. You encourage and motivate them to be a solution providers. This is the reason we established Global Care Cancer Institute to bring expertise and technology to the area. We will also implement a community-based cancer screening program that will help the patient financially and the government economically. How, you may ask? If we have an early diagnosis, then treatment will be much less expensive and the patient will get to live longer and have a better quality of life. Number 3, build strong relationship. If people are aloof towards you, how can you lead? Healthcare is a field that requires collaboration. Leaders need to be able to work well with others to achieve their goals. By building strong relationships with colleagues, patients, and community members, you inspire others to do the same. When people feel valued and respected, they are more likely to be engaged and committed to the work they are doing. They have a sense of fulfillment in what they do. I think of myself as a servant leader and as a democratic leader. I make sure that fellows or employees, even patients, are empowered. Number 4, focus on patient-centered care. If you regard your patient as simply another task for the day, how can you lead? At the heart of healthcare is the patient. The reason for healthcare is the patient. Without the patient, there is no healthcare. Leaders in this field need to prioritize their needs and well-being. by focusing on patient-centered care. You inspired others to do the same and create a culture where patients are at the center of and the reason for everything that we do. For example, when a patient sees a doctor for a consultation, the doctor should see the patient as a person, one who seeks help or at least advice, not as another case of diagnosis. They are a part of decision making. It's the same philosophy. Number 5, encourage a lifelong learning. If you refuse to acquire new skills, how can you lead? Just as healthcare requires collaboration, it is also a field that constantly evolving. Leaders need to be committed to ongoing learning and develop, and by encouraging others to pursue continuing education and professional development opportunities, you inspire others to be updated with the latest trends and the best practice in healthcare. When I was assigned to be part of a clinical nutrition team, I did not have any knowledge about nutrition. I only know how to treat cancer patients. So what I did was to enroll in master class in clinical nutrition that will help my patient in their cancer journey. I also took culinary and barista training primarily for my personal development. I did it for my patients too. When I became the president and COO of GCCI, I also took healthcare leadership in Harvard Medical School to prepare me for my position. To further equip me in this position, I am now currently taking a degree in master's in health economics and pharmacoeconomics in UPF, Barcelona. When I finish my course and apply what I've learned, I hope to help in cancer care funding allocation to have an equitable cancer care. Number 6, a leader must have a clear vision. If your aspirations are blurred and you are not sure where you're going, how can you lead? Leader must have a clear sense of purpose and direction that they want to take their team or organization. This vision should be communicated clearly and effective to their team so that everyone is aligned and working towards the same goal. A leader must also be willing to listen to others, must be a good listener. Surround yourself with people who challenge your thinking and provide diverse perspective. Listen to their ideas, feedbacks, and concern. Use this feedback to refine your vision and make better decisions. Leadership is not about personal success. It's about creating a positive impact on the world around you. Be a servant leader who willingly puts the needs of others before your own. Use your talents and resources to create a positive change in your community, your industry, or the world at large. So why is it important that we have inspiring leaders in healthcare? For one, the stakes are very high. Healthcare is an industry where mistake can have life or death consequences. We need leaders who can make tough decisions, manage complex situations, and navigate the many challenges that arise in this field. Beyond that, however, we also need leaders who inspire others to be the best of themselves. Leaders who can create a culture of positivity, excellence, and compassion. Leaders who can bring out the best in their team and help them to achieve things that they never thought possible. To those who are considering a career in healthcare, I urge you to consider the role of a leader. Whether you are a doctor, a nurse, a technician, or an administrator, there is always a need for inspiring leaders in healthcare. And to those who are already leader in this field, I encourage you to keep striving to be the best that you can be, intellectually and relationally. Be not the leader with a brilliant mind alone that speaks, but most importantly, be that leader with a special heart that listens. In conclusion, I want to leave you with another quote from Mahatma Gandhi, who said, Be the change you wish to see in the world. You have the power to create positive change in the lives of those around you. And by doing so, you change your life too. Embrace your leadership potential, believe in yourself, and have a heart and listen to people. Then take action to make a difference in the world, even if it is just your own world. Thank you.